Alright guys, well welcome to day 8 of the intermittent fasting. So I did weigh myself this morning and the scale has not moved at all, like 0, which is, actually that's okay. I'm alright with that, to be honest with you. I was so distressed on the SOS free diet that every time I looked at the scale it was going up, that seeing it not going up actually to me is just fine. I'm really hopeful that it will go down by the next 7 days are being up, but for now I'm content with the fact that my weight is stable and it's not going anywhere, so that's actually a good thing. I wanted to show you guys what I packed to take with me for lunch today. It is 4:20. I'm just working on doing some video editing and stuff before I get ready to go to work. Well, obviously I'm mostly ready to go to work, but I already packed my lunch. So that is a very empty salad. But we had a bunch of chopped up lettuce and we had some chopped up vegetables and all sorts of stuff in the refrigerator, and all of it is gone, which is awesome because that means it was eaten. Not so awesome because I'm just not going to chop up a pepper and a cucumber, and yeah, no, it's just not happening at this time of the day. I just don't feel like it. So I put some corn in here and some raisins in here and a little thing with some pickles, and I'm going to stop at the grocery store and get a package of coleslaw mix. So cabbage and carrots, and that's going to be my salad, which I think is totally fine. And then I packed a thing of soup. This is so it's supposed to be wild, it's one of the two that I made the other day. It's supposed to be creamy wild rice and mushroom soup. That's what it looks like. It's very sparkly in the light, isn't it? Sorry. Whatever. Anyway, obviously it's purple. If you didn't see the video the other day, it's purple because the wild rice that I have turns everything purple. And so what I did was I made it, and I put the flour in it like it said to, and I know better. I mean, I totally know better. You mix flour with water first, you make a nice little paste, put it in and you mix it. I know better. I know how to cook for real. But it said to sprinkle it in and then whisk it, and I was like, okay, I could do that, no problem. So I did it, and yeah, clumps everywhere of flour, and I was like, well, okay. So instead, I got my little high-speed hand blender, immersion blender, which, by the way, I love. I'll put a link to one in the description box below. I bought my mom a nice one. It's like a 500 watt engine on the thing. It's like supercharged, and it's really cheap now. I don't know, when I bought it for her, it's been probably about a year, maybe a year and a half now, maybe about a year. It was like $60-70. It was not cheap, and it's now like $30. So totally, if you don't have one, you need to get one for sure. I would even recommend doing it for Christmas presents if you have friends that don't have one and you think they might like one. I might have to do that for my tech for Christmas. She's awesome. She's super sweet. I might do that. Anyway, totally aside. So anyway, so I put it in there and I mixed it, and it was doing a really good job, but I might have got a little enthusiastic and got some of the rice in it too. So now I've got this really, really thick, like I could turn this container upside down and that soup's not going anywhere. Anyway, so it's mushrooms and broth and rice, and it tastes good. So it's just a really weird consistency, but I'm gonna eat that with my salad for lunch. And then that whole eating before I left work thing worked out really well, like really, really well. And granted, I did stop at the grocery store twice on my way home, which is very odd. Usually you would think if you stop at one grocery store, you would be good to go, and you wouldn't stop at the next Kroger like 5 miles down the road. But anyway, whatever. So instead of the frozen mixed veggies that I brought with me yesterday, I have a bag of frozen green beans, and I have a little container of rice in there. So there's my frozen green beans, 12 ounces. And these have like way less calories. It's half the calories of those mixed vegetables. And to be honest with you, I like green beans. Not real sure that I'm going to do the frozen mixed vegetable bag again when I could have something that's half the calories, same amount of volume. It's kind of a no-brainer, really. So that's what I'm taking. I'm having a cup of tea right now, and I had a good reason for stopping at the grocery store twice. So I stopped at the grocery store to get the few things that I needed, that they didn't have all of what I needed anyway. And then I was driving out of the parking lot. My husband called and he's like, hey, are you still at the store? Nope. So, but it happens that there is another Kroger that's brand new Kroger that's closer to my house than the one that I stopped at. We decided to get our puppy, who's 14, almost 14 years old. He's not a puppy. Our puppy, some wet food. He's at the point now, we're at the point where we're just going to try and make him as absolutely happy and comfortable as possible for the next 3 to 5 months, which is how long the vet gave him time frame wise. So we're just going to feed his little self and make him super happy and give him his pain meds so that he stays super happy. And yeah, hope the steroids bring down the swelling and inflammation of the cancer, and just keep going until he's done. And when he's done, and that's the way that'll be. But for now, he had kind of stopped eating, which for him is insane because this is my dog that loves to eat. Like, he loves to eat, always has. And so he was not really doing a very good job eating for the last day or so. And I think it's because the little lymph nodes in his neck are really swollen, and eating the dry food was causing him to choke a little bit, so he just decided he wasn't going to eat, and obviously that's not a good sign. So I bought a couple of different cans. He's always been grain-free, like, actually not always, but for a really long time he's been grain-free, because my other dog, who we had to put down almost 2 years ago, she had horrible skin allergies, and so we had to actually have a grain-free food for her. So we just continued with Kazi being on the grain-free food. So I had to search for some grain-free wet food. But anyway, I got home with it, and he was passed out in the hallway and hadn't eaten at all, like maybe had a couple bites of food and that was it. And so I opened up a can of food and I took it over by him and stuck it underneath his nose, and he came right alive. He thought that was super exciting, which he was laying on the hardwood floor, so he can't get up himself. So my daughter lifted his back end for him so that he can get his feet under him, and he came walking out, and yeah, he was super excited. I mixed half a can of wet food with his dry food, and yeah, I've not seen him that excited about eating actually in a really long time. So that was really cool. That was a really nice experience for the girls, actually, also my daughters, to also be able to see him enjoying his food like that. And he was really quite happy, and he was kind of running around the dining room table in circles, and he was super excited. His tail was flipping back and forth, and so that was kind of nice, considering that all the kids know that he's on borrowed time at this point. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to work on finishing, well, my computer is working on finishing turning the video into a file so that I can upload before I go. That's it. That's all for now. I need to stop and get gas on my way to work. And can you guys see right there? Yeah, right there. All those little green things on the counter. So we had a cold snap, and you can't really see them because there's a ton of them. Can you see that? I mean, there is a ton of them on the counter. So we have this plant. Okay, first of all, any of you guys that like gardening, and I mean really like gardening, like you're really into gardening, you need to go look up the YouTube channel. It's called MIGardener, which stands for Michigan, I would assume, because that's where they live. But anyway, MIGardener. And this guy is really cool. He's younger. He's kind of, I guess I would say he's kind of cute in terms of the fact that he's not conceited, like, at all, which is to me a very attractive feature in someone, is that he's wanting to share information, but not from a standpoint of I know something that you don't know. It's more of a, hey, this is what worked for me, you guys might want to try it. But they also have a website, and they sell seeds. And so one of his listeners or watchers, whatever, is from Italy, and had sent him these, I don't know if they're heirloom or not, these tomato seeds for a tomato plant that grows in Italy that is not in the United States. And let's see, the tomatoes grow. I don't know what the brand is. I'm sorry. I'll look it up and I'll put it in the description box below. But anyway, the tomatoes turn out like this cute little red tomato, but they are absolutely amazingly delicious. These tomatoes are so good. And so my husband had planted one like in the springtime. We had one and it grew, and we had a hard time with the birds coming in trying to get the tomatoes, so we ended up picking them when tomatoes were probably like this big, little baby tomatoes. A lot of them, but they were turning red. And anyway, we put them in little containers with the tomatoes that we buy from the store, the bigger tomatoes, and they would turn red like this. Aren't those pretty? Anyway, we had a cold snap, and so this is the second tomato plant that we've planted this season, and it's now the beginning of November. And you know, in Texas, you can grow stuff late into the season, but anyway, we had a cold snap, like real cold snap, like it got down to like 34, 33 or something like that, which, you know, any tomato plant that's outside is not going to do well with that. But anyway, so my husband walked by and actually just brushed the plant, and a whole bunch of tomatoes fell off of it, like a bunch. And so anyway, we've got all of these little green tomatoes. Aren't they pretty? I don't know if they're going to turn red or not. I've never even remotely thought about making a fried green tomato, and I don't think I'm going to start now. But they smell like a tomato. The little stem smells really good. But anyway, so we've got like 5,000 tomatoes sitting on the counter, which actually isn't a problem because two of my kids can't eat tomatoes, like really, really, really can't eat a tomato. Holy cow, don't feed them a tomato. But the other 3 absolutely love them, and they do fine with them. So if any of these turn color, they'll be eaten, no problems, easy. So anyway, and that huge stack of tomatoes right there, the big huge stack of tomatoes, is for my husband. He makes our own salsa. He makes it sugar-free and salt-free, and it's actually really, really good. He does a really good job with it. So he needs to make salsa. He's running out. He eats salsa a lot, like a lot. But I mean, it's nothing but a vegetable, you know? I can't argue. He typically does not eat them on chips. Like, he won't eat them on store-bought chips. We might get the, actually they're right there. They're the little corn tortilla shells. We'll use a pizza cutter to cut them into 6 and then put them on the little racks in the little oven and make them into chips. So he'll eat that, which has no salt, and they're pretty healthy. Or he'll just eat it with carrot chips. So, but he likes to eat hummus with carrot chips for the most part. He really enjoys that. That's like something. And he found a jalapeno hummus recently that he is just in love with. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, that's it for now. I need to go and get ready and start this in the uploading process. And I will talk to you guys again later. Alrighty guys, well I am driving home. Just been stuck in construction traffic for about the last 10-15 minutes, and I don't have any big plans. My husband is made spaghetti for supper for the kids, which is cool. They really like that. I'm sorry about the sunlight. Not much I can do about it. Nope, that doesn't help. Nope, none of that helps. Anyways, so yeah, only crazy thing going on here is the weather. It's beautiful out. It's like 88 degrees out. A couple days ago, this time of the day, it was about like 49. So it really is really beautiful temperature-wise outside. So I am going to drive home. I did not eat my soup. Of all the things that I took with me today, that I did not have. That's okay, no big deal. And I don't have any plans for this evening in terms of I don't need to do anything or get anything accomplished. I just need to hang out with my kids for a little bit and head off to bed. In the morning, I'm going to make the kids pancakes for breakfast. That's all I'm planning on making. I'm also planning on making a zucchini type sweet corn zucchini pie type thing tomorrow. So I will show you guys the ingredients for that. I will hopefully show you guys the ingredients for that. I should be able to get that taken care of. But I'm expecting it to be fairly good, so I'm probably going to make that for supper for tomorrow night. No other plans at the moment other than to just drive home safely. There's a ton of cars out. My goodness, lots and lots of people, which is unusual for this road. Usually by the time I get further south, then there's a lot of traffic, but this is just a backcountry road. There's usually a decent amount of traffic, but not quite this much traffic. But there, now I'm kind of in the shadow. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a fabulous day, and I'm just ready for today to be over. I'm kind of tired still. I think I must be just a little bit run down still. My lip it looks significantly better, but it hurts. So who knows? But anywho, that's it for me for the day. And